All right, we got a recording going here. Excellent. Almost like I knew what I was doing. Of course, that's almost never the case. Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a treat for you. I was just watching earlier today Steve's channel, VRflightsimguy, and he was flight testing the PA-24 Commanche, which is brand new from A2A simulators, and he was very enthusiastic about it. Now, Steve is a guy whose opinion I really trust, and if he says this is a good model, then by gar, I think it must be. Let's have a look here. And he's flying it in the Crystal, which I will do as soon as I get my new Crystal. I'm waiting for it to arrive. In the meantime, we'll play in the 8KX. All right. I'd like to know how to move. Oh, it's got me moving already. Okay. The other thing I want to do today is see if I can find Royal Liverpool Golf Course. There we go. So the flight sim took me off before the engine temperature was in the green. That's not a good thing. I guess it's barely in the green, so it'll be okay. Now I think, have I got a map here? Do I have a map? I thought I did. Oh, that's the pause button. Oh, there's my toolkit. Good. I'm going to need that. Oh, I love it when things work. Right now I'll use the mouse to point at it. I'm looking at the trim. Elevator up and down for nose up or down. Really nice. I love it when things work the way they're supposed to. I was sure I had a map. I wonder, I can never remember what I've done with things. If I'm not mistaken entirely, the Royal Liverpool is a link style course. It should be just on the other coast of this island if we can find it. We're over the home of the Beatles, Liverpool. Also, Jerry and the Pacemakers came from here. Remember the song Ferry Across the Mersey? Great song. Jerry passed away last year? But wonderful songwriter. There was a lot of great music coming out of Liverpool in the early 60s. Of course, I wasn't very old in the early 60s. I was, 2. But I grew up with the Beatles. By the time I was in grade 1 or 2, they were the biggest band in the world, and of course, all us kids loved them. All right, I'm going to see if I can switch us over to the mirror view. I wanted to stay on stereo view here for a minute, give you both screens, so that you can see just how wide this field of view is on the 8KX. Because I'm gonna slow down a little bit too. Try and level the airplane out. Nose down. Okay, that's a little bit too much. And now I'll just see if I can get us into. There we are. I'll make that full screen. Okay, so now I won't be able to use my mouse anymore, but you'll be able to see a single screen, which hopefully will give you a nice clear picture. It's obvious when you're using the 8KX that it's not as clear an image as the Crystal. Very few headsets can give you that. But it's pretty clear. The center portion is very good. The edges, it definitely blurs as you get out towards the edge. but the edges are 170 degrees apart, so that's a very, very wide field of view. And it's got its own attraction. I mean, the Crystal's appeal is this wonderful visual fidelity, but the 8KX offers a wider field of view that really does make you feel like you're in the airplane. Now, where I miss this wonderful clarity that the Crystal has is when I'm looking for something on the ground. If I'm close to it, it's not too bad, but the Crystal in the distance shows me more detail, and of course when we're right over it, it's even better. I mean, it's amazing. Let's be honest, the 8KX does not compete with the Crystal in terms of visual acuity, but it certainly does in terms of immersion. As I've said in other videos, the difference to me, it's like comparing a good quality VHS movie on videotape to Blu-ray or 4K even. But you do get this wonderful field of view on the 8KX. The colors are better on the Crystal too. I mean, just by the colors alone, it would be easy for me to pick out where the golf course is. I'm going to be watching the British Open on TV, and I'm pulling for Rory McIlroy. He's my favorite golfer. I don't want to talk about people I don't like on the Pro Tour. I like most of them. But I have to admit, I was disappointed in some of them with the Live Tour stuff. But, you know, everybody's got to make their own decision about that. And I was kind of disappointed that the PGA Tour sort of took Live under its wing after all of that. Anyway. Makes no difference in the daily lives of us regular people, does it? I mean, if Phil Mickelson gets $100 million from Live, doesn't change the way I live. Well, I think we found a golf course. I believe there are two in the area, though, so I'm not... I think the one closest to the water might be it. But again, I'm kind of confused. Is this a golf course? I think it is. But I don't see a lot of pot bunkers, which are the hallmark of the open course, the Royal Liverpool. And I can't really tell where the greens are. Huh. Well, we'll fly up the coast a bit. Maybe it's a little further up. Truthfully, I'm not even sure that's a golf course. It could be just marshland and sand. I don't know. On the Crystal, it would be a little bit more obvious. Gotta get a little bit lower here. I love the sound of the Commanche. I say I've never actually flown in one, but it was an airplane that I considered buying at one point. It's just the maintenance on them with that retractable gear and all the other complex systems. I thought I might be able to afford the airplane, but I didn't know if I could afford the maintenance. So I bought a Luscombe 8F instead, and half of a Piper Tri-Pacer. I love both those airplanes. But I often wonder if I had squandered some money and bought the Commanche, how it would have been. Well, looking at the sim here, I think I'd say pretty good. I'm getting 34 frames per second right now. I've got some detail levels set down in OpenXR. Yeah, this looks like a golf course. It's a links course, so it should be near the water. I wonder if I can... Let me just... I was hoping I could see a sign, because I've left, you know, visual... Okay, so, right. Now there's a golf course on this side of the stream, but I don't think that's the one we're looking for. Looks a little too user-friendly. I was watching one of the YouTubers play the Royal Liverpool with his friends, and it looked like an absolute nightmare. Beautiful, but way beyond the skills of a duffer like me. Narrow fairways, nasty rough. Well, I think this could be it here. Maybe somebody who knows the area better than I can tell me if I've found it or not. Boy, I like this airplane. I think this is going to be a daily flyer for me. I've still got the gear up too, don't I? Or gear down. I didn't put the gear up. Oh well. If you don't put the gear up, you can't forget to put it down. That's one way of looking at it. I'm fooling around with some of the switches that I thought I had mapped. Apparently not. Oh, there we go. How do I move the view down? Well, I'll just hit center view and see. Okay, so my head's butting against the ceiling, but maybe I'm just really tall. That could be the case. What do you think? I don't think so. So let's head back to John Lennon Airport. I'll see if I can figure out how to land this thing. I think it would be wiser to read the manual before I fly it, but you know, I guess that's not really my style. I'm just kind of a yeet. Well, the detail level, as usual with the Sobo, is really wonderful in Liverpool. And I don't know if I've updated the UK scenery package yet. I should do that. I should get a map of the city and find out where all the key places are. John Lennon's house, Penny Lane, Strawberry Fields, the Cavern Club. That would be good. So I guess we'll do a straight-in approach here. I do have to figure out how to get my airplane to do what my cameras to go where I want to. I've had a devil of a time getting them mapped properly. This Apache comfort strap really makes a huge difference. I mean, I never noticed that the 8KX was particularly uncomfortable because I find it so immersive, and I love the joystick, or I love the headset. I think it's awesome. But this Apache strap, now I don't feel like I have any weight on my sinuses at all. It's a New Zealand product too, so anytime I can buy something and support my fellow Commonwealth members, I'm happy to do that. Oh, look at that. I just found a... Good, that looks good. Alright. Let's chop the throttle down because I've got lots of height. What I need to do is get the speed down. So I'm going to kind of sneak over here and then just do a short left base. Now, what did I do with my flap key? Oh yeah, I don't know where the flaps are. Huh. Well, maybe I should rectify that. But maybe not today. We'll do a little forward slip and bleed some speed off. Oh, screen freeze. That was interesting. Haven't seen that for a while. That's one of the things that Microsoft seems to be, the sim seems to be prone to. Little screen freezes for some reason. All right, let's hold it off. Okay, let the nose come down. Oh, no brakes. Well, I guess I have brakes. We'll just hold the stick back a little bit here. Oh, I don't want to bump the prop into the ground. Well, I can't say it's a particularly difficult airplane to land, not compared to some other airplanes in the sim. But I really love the way it looks. I mean, this isn't a review of the Commanche by A2A, but I'm certainly happy with my purchase. As soon as I saw Steve had purchased it and liked it, I thought, well, if it's good enough for him, it's certainly good enough for an old fat man in a cruel world. So I logged into the A2A site and got myself a copy of it. And I have to say, you know, I really do like it. I'm really looking forward to seeing it on the Crystal. If anybody has a big screen beyond, and they happen to try Flight Sim 2020 in it, well, let me know what the Commanche looks like in that if you have it. I'm very interested in some of these other headsets that are coming along. Like the big screen Really looks good to me because the form factor is so small. I mean, it would be the most comfortable headset you could ever get. I don't know what the clarity is like. I think it's pretty good. Steve says there's some glare, and Sebastian over Mixed Reality Video says that it's a great headset, but it's not quite as visually stunning as the Crystal is. But he also really likes it. Everybody who's tried it really likes it, so that's why it interests me. Then we have the Somnium coming along, which is also interesting. And I should have my Crystal back in a couple of weeks, I hope, or a new version of it. And I'm hoping that by then we'll have the wide-angle lenses, and I can do a video on that. In the meantime, it's not what I'd call a punishment to play Flight Sim 2020 in the Commanche on the 8KX. This is not a review of the product yet, but I do have to say that I really like it so far. I think it's gonna prove to be a lot of fun for a long time. Really cool. Okay, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment if you have an alternative headset you'd like to tell me about, or if you've got a Crystal and you've tried the Commanche in it. That would be awesome. Tell me what you know and what you think, and we'll talk soon.